Om Shri Sai Ram. As we pray to Bhagwan to grant his message, I perceive him seated here in the throne in ochre robe, and I repeat as he speaks. Chitta shuddhi leni క్షుద్ర మానవునకు ఆత్మతత్వంబు ఎట్ల అబ్బునక్కు ఆత్మతత్వంబు అతిశుద్ధ హృదయునికే సత్యమును తెలుపు మాట సాయి మాట. It means the one who does not have purity of heart, how is he going to be able to understand the principle of Atman or divinity? For this knowledge of Atman or self is possible only for those who have the purity of heart. These are the words of Sai that tell the truth. Dear embodiments of divinity, boys and girls, devotees. We all know of this phenomenon of magnetism. A magnet, by its nature, attracts iron filings to itself. Many children perform this experiment in their science labs, where a mixture of iron filings and sand is kept, and then a magnet is used to attract the iron filings, leaving behind the sand particles. As you take this magnet through the mixture, you see that it selects the iron filings that stick onto it, attracted by its magnetism, whereas the dust or the sand particles are left behind. Likewise, those who have purity of heart, they alone are attracted to God and divine principle. Out of billions of human beings on this earth, a few millions alone are attracted to God. It is not that God's love differentiates between one and the other. God's love is pure, unsullied, and it does not differentiate between anyone. It is equal like the light of sun for all. However, those who are pure in heart are spontaneously attracted to these divine feelings, whereas the others who have impurity caused by selfishness and self-interest stay away. The purity of heart is visible and it can be experienced in little children who are not yet contaminated by the worldly feelings. Before the rain falls onto the earth, it is pure and one can drink from it without purifying it. However, if you cannot collect this rain before it touches the ground, you cannot drink it once it has already got contaminated in the soil. Then it requires to be purified, cleaned, and made fit for drinking. It does not take much intelligence to tell that it is easier to rather collect the rain before it falls onto the soil than to collect a soiled rain and try to purify it and made fit for drinking. These children who are born out of pure divinity, before they get contaminated by the worldly feelings which arise in them with the passage of time and the company that they keep, it is important that we collect them and make sure that they remain pure. Therefore, all the efforts of building education institutions across the length and breadth of this state and eventually in the whole of the country and the world is aimed at saving these children before they are soiled. All the efforts that are being put is to help these children retain their pure divinity with which they are born. Unless the children are made pure and they retain their purity once they grow up also, it's not possible to bring morality in the society. You cannot bring morality in the society by enforcement of law. Law may come and tell you, don't do this or do this, don't harm anyone, don't cause sorrow or grief to anyone, don't break rules, don't do things that are unacceptable and illegal. They may go on giving you a list of things like this for you to follow. It is all force, it's external. As long as this force is applied, you may see some result. But the moment it is withdrawn, it goes back to the same chaos. However, when you feel from the source, you feel from within love and you're not driven by law, then you don't have to be told what has to be done. You automatically, by your own nature, will do good always. If everyone retains the love with which they are born and does not allow it to be contaminated, the world will automatically find peace and happiness there will be harmony, understanding between people. This pure love is divinity. It does not expect anything in return. It only knows how to give, not to get. It knows only to give, never to receive. This love is natural for the children. All we have to do is not to add or remove anything from them, but just help them retain what they already have, what they are already born with. The scriptures say, Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashyate. It is already complete by itself. The child is complete by itself. You cannot add or remove anything from that child. Therefore, let that child retain this pure love and express it in all its thoughts, words and actions. That is all that we need to ensure as teachers or elders. Therefore, allow the children to remain pure. Help them to remain pure. Create an environment and opportunities for them only to remain pure. That is all that we need to ensure as elders in the society. And don't think that it is not possible to do. With effort, anything is possible. There is nothing in this world or beyond that cannot be achieved by sincere human effort. On top of that, if you have added grace of God for the effort that you put, no doubt that you will achieve what you are trying to achieve. See, dear children and staff and teachers, all of you have received this great boon of having both of these. If you put a little effort, there is God behind you who is there to grace you with His blessings. Study whatever subjects you need to study. Go play the sports that you need to play. Participate in all the activities that you need to participate. But do it all with love for God. You may study, but why are you studying? You must ask yourself. Why are you putting efforts to gain this knowledge, skills, and develop all kinds of talents in you? The answer should not be so that I can become a big man with great name, fame, position and power and earn a lot of wealth, become rich and lead a comfortable, selfish life. Be doctor, engineer, lawyer, professor, any profession that you take up, it is fine. As long as the purpose of doing that is to be of some use to others and not just to seek or eke a livelihood and fill your belly. Today I have seen there are plenty of doctors, but there are far more number of patients who do not get medical attention. Somebody came and told me 10% of people in the world control 90% of world's wealth. 10% of people in the world control 90% of the world's wealth. There is no dearth of rich people, there is no dearth of engineers, doctors, professors, teachers, lawyers. There are plenty of them. Unfortunately, they are all concentrated where there is money. They only are doing what they are doing for the sake of earning more wealth and not for the sake of actually helping those who are needy. If I take all these people's wealth and distribute it amongst all the people in the world equally, do you think anybody will be remaining poor thereafter? If I take all the doctors who are concentrated in the rich countries and cities and take them and put them into these villages where there is need for them, and if they can serve the people of the village, do you think anybody can remain sick thereafter? If all the teachers who are only selling education, buying education and concentrating themselves only on this aspect of filling their bellies, I take all of them and spread them equally across all the regions of the world, do you think anybody will remain uneducated thereafter? If all the engineers who are only busy building taller and tallest buildings in the world are spread all around the rural regions and are made to develop roads, bridges and all the infrastructure that is required, which is missing there, do you think any place will be inaccessible on earth? No, dear children, if everybody becomes selfless, there is no way people can be sick or uneducated or poor or hungry. But this is the selfishness of few which causes sorrow and grief to the rest. Unfortunately, we see this selfishness even more in those who are well educated than those who are less educated. Today's education is only increasing selfishness in people, it is increasing talent and knowledge, but it is not providing them the values that they should have. Having all kinds of education, crores of them, without the values that one needs to have, earth or simple dust is better than such education. Koti vidyalunna gunamale kunnacho atti vidya kanna matti minna. Today we have plenty of knowledgeable, skilled, intelligent, talented people in the world, but unfortunately they are only focusing on their own selfish pursuits and not willing to serve the society. Dear children, you have to change this in this world. You be the agents of change who will bring about a new way of life, new way of looking at life. When your friends who become doctors are pursuing wealth-making ways, you should run the other way to the rural and the poor and provide service to them through knowledge that you have acquired. When the other engineers who study with you pursue a career in rich countries to build palatial buildings, you turn the other way and reach out to the most inaccessible parts and provide the infrastructure that is needed for their people to live peacefully and comfortably. And some of you, when you become teachers, professors, scientists, trying to discover new ways of making lives more comfortable for the rich, I expect our children to rather turn the other way and go and find ways and means to educate those who are poor and provide solutions to their problems. This is the difference that there should be between our students and anybody else in the world. Whether you wear white clothes, whether you put vibhuti, whether you sing bhajans, whether you chant Vedas, that's one aspect of it. More importantly, whether you serve the society or not is what I look out for. My students should be the servants of the society like me. Then they will be truly my students or Sai students. And let me tell you, if you serve others, God is always there to serve you, protect you, look after you, and He will see to that there is nothing less in your life too. Be such selfless leaders, be such selfless servants in the society, and bring about this much needed change in the times of strife and difficulties that the world is facing. Blessing you thus, I conclude my talk. Bhajana Gana.